Noon starts right now.
A new top cop in the Triad's largest city, but not without some pushback. Why some residents are raising their concerns over the selection of this new police chief.
Data stolen in a cyber attack impacting students and staff could be safe. What parents and students need to know this afternoon.
And the number of hantavirus cases tied to a cruise ship has risen. Why officials think the number could go even higher as American passengers are on home soil now, including one from our state being monitored for symptoms.
President Trump heads to China today ahead of a high-stakes summit with China's leader Xi Jinping, while the war with Iran is casting a long shadow. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
Thank you so much for joining us here at noon. In less than 3 hours, Greensboro's newest police chief, Cameron Afzaal, will be sworn in to serve the city.
WXII 12 Sarah Sowers joins us from downtown ahead of the ceremony. She is live for us this afternoon. And Sarah, what can you tell us?
Lindsay Wanye, the new police chief, will be the 25th person to head this department, bringing decades of experience to the table. However, the selection process for Cameron Afzaal was not one that came without community criticism and challenges. Now, the city manager's choice of Afzaal left many advocates and civil rights groups asking why an internal candidate wasn't chosen and concerns over Afzaal's style of leadership. Trey Davis defended his decision, saying Afzaal is the right person for the job after conducting a national search process. Afzaal has served various roles in law enforcement for the last 35 years and is coming to the Gate City from Dayton, Ohio, where he most recently served as police chief.
The decision to hire Chief Afzaal was less about hiring someone outside of the department and more about identifying the right person for the role. So you got to understand when this decision is made, I do it carefully. I do it with much deliberation and making sure I'm identifying somebody that really met the qualifications of what people wanted to see.
I'm not here to police anybody. I'm here to serve people. We just do it through a profession called policing.
The ceremony officially begins this afternoon at 2 p.m. and you can watch it live on WXII12.com and our Facebook page. Reporting live in Greensboro, Sarah Sowers, WXII 12 News.
New at noon, the company that operates Canvas says it reached a deal with the hackers that hacked the app last week.
Instructure says the data that was stolen was returned to them as part of the deal. They also received what's called shred logs. That is digital confirmation the data was destroyed. According to Instructure, no customers will be extorted, and the company says individual customers do not need to engage with the hackers.
This all started at the end of last week when a cyber attack shut down the education platform. Several of our local districts shut down the app temporarily. It's believed the breach exposed student and teacher data, including full names, email addresses, student ID numbers, and internal messages. But again, we're told that information was returned.
Instructure acknowledges you can never be completely sure when dealing with cyber criminals. They say they will continue to review data and work on hardening the system. They do expect to release more info on the hack tomorrow. New here at noon, a man in Elkin is accused of child sex crimes. Police arrested 74-year-old Charles Marshall Saturday. He's facing one count of statutory sex offense with a child by an adult. Officers say he's being held in the Surrey County Jail under no bond. Marshall is due in court June 15th. Police say they continue now to investigate.
Today, a former private school teacher in Greensboro accused of using AI to create child sexual abuse materials is expected to face a judge. Richard Upright, who worked at Vandalia Christian School, is charged with an additional 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. He's now charged with 20 total counts. The investigation into Upright started last December. He was arrested in late February. Investigators say they got additional warrants in this case.
In Davidson County, a Lexington woman accused of killing her father is expected to appear in court today. 20-year-old Malaya Allen is charged with first-degree murder in the death of 44-year-old Michael Allen. Allen died last month. An autopsy report showed he was stabbed and died from sharp force trauma. His death was ruled a homicide, and the sheriff's office does believe the attack was premeditated.
There are growing questions about whether the hantavirus could spread here at home. Now the Americans on board that deadly cruise ship are back on U.S. soil.
As Maggie Vespa reports, the focus now turns to the quarantine and whether it's tough enough.
Hey there, the global hantavirus case count rising overnight, according to the WHO, to now 11, with NBC News confirming the latest case coming out of Spain. The health ministry there saying the patient presented with what they describe as a low-grade fever, mild symptoms, that they're currently stable. And they add they have 13 other patients in isolation, all of whom are testing negative. Again, globally right now, 11 cases, 3 deaths so far. Now, stateside, we have 18 passengers isolating, 2 of them at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta, one of whom is showing symptoms, but both are testing negative at this point. The remaining 16 are here at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, including one person who health officials describe as mildly positive. One of those who's testing negative here in Omaha spoke to Today from his quarantine room about what it was like on that ship.
It was definitely a wave of emotions as we retrieved information. It wasn't really until we arrived in the Canary Islands and I was able to get off this ship that I felt a bit of relief.
Now, health officials, we've also learned, are also monitoring possible exposures in close to a dozen states, including California, Texas, and New York. These are either in passengers who left the cruise earlier or people who came into contact with passengers while they were traveling home. Back to you.
And state health officials confirmed someone from North Carolina was one of 18 Americans on board that cruise ship at the center of the hantavirus outbreak.
Officials are not releasing what part of North Carolina they're from to protect their privacy. DHHS says there are no current cases of hantavirus cases in our state, and the risk of infection remains extremely low.
Coming up at 12:30, we're getting some insight into how the last hantavirus outbreak was handled and what we need to know about the deadly disease.